Okay, our next card is Chris Beyond the Patch. I've actually not seen this card, chat. Does Chris have his dog? He better. It's a 4-play with 4/4. Says fanfare if X is 5, summon a ghostly rider. X equals the number of allied cards that had last words when they were destroyed this match. If X is at least 10, give your little fun effect. At the end of your turn, give +2/+2 and more to all allied followers with last words. Ghostly rider is a 5/5, right, chat? Just a 5/5, if I'm not mistaken. No real effect. Does he have ward? Oh, he's got ward, yeah. Okay, so a 4/4/4 with no effect is not particularly great. But as soon as you get 5 last words destroyed, you get a 4/4/4 summon a 5/5 ward, which already is pretty decent. And then in the late game or mid to late game, whatever, you get that and then a leader effect that's gonna buff your dudes. Seems good. Okay, our next card is Miriam, Motherless Bean, Portalcraft Gold. This is the card ruled by different fight and issue, right? It's a 6-play with 4/4, accelerate 1, destroy an allied follower, put a shift into your hand. This is a good effect because Paradigm Shift are very powerful cards, and accelerate 1, open up board space is powerful too, right? For example, you can kill the Beyblade that goes face and then proc his last words, and there's a lot of power in that. Okay, for the actual follower, she's 4/4, fanfare. If Resonance, whatever that is active for you, recover 2 play points. Well, that seems good. And then when an allied follower is destroyed, artifact follower, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. So she costs 6, but really 4. And then you trade in the nerds and it's used to push damage. I mean, I could see that being good, right? Are we playing the 5-cost amulet thing that gives you the... I guess you have to, right? And then turbo out the 1-cost artifacts. And then they do 2 damage. And then you have the Beyblade, it does 2 damage when it dies too, and then I could see it being a lot of damage really quickly. You do have to be in Resonance, I guess, but how hard could that be? Okay, our next card is Jeno, the Inexhaustible. It's a Swordcraft Officer / Levin, chat. First of all, this guy looks mad cool. He looks so cool, chat. It's a 4-play with 4/3. Says fanfare destroy a random enemy follower, a random evil follower. Wait, that's insane. Whenever another allied follower is destroyed, gain +1/+0 and storm. Wait, what? Okay, so you play this and you can just destroy your opponent's evil followers. And then if you kill one of your guys, you get storm and +1 attack. Plus he's 11 and he looks mad cool. It might be good enough for the fanfare, right? Like, okay, everybody evos, chat. Yeah, this is Soul Squasher territory. I used to despise Soul Squasher because evoing is such a basic part of Shadowverse. Literally every single deck in Shadowverse is allowed with evo, no matter what. Every single deck. So you always have a target for this shit. So the effect is pretty insane. It's random, so you can hit your own dudes, but you can make it so it's guaranteed. And then, I mean, Potential Storm is good, right? Potential Storm is always good. There seems like there's a lot of synergy for like your dudes being destroyed in Swordcraft, maybe? With Albert and potentially this. Is that a direction they want to go with the class? I don't know. But I do like Jeno and I do like Albert, so hey, seems good. Okay, Greya, the Ragna's Lord, Mysterian Runecraft follower, 3-play and 3/2. Fanfare, put a Fatal Burn into your hand. Banish 2 random cards from your deck. If you had 20 cards or less in your deck before the cards were banished, gain +3/+3. Wait, that's a lot of stats. Evo, recover 2 play points, banish 2 random cards from your deck. Cool, what does the spell do? Fatal Burn is a 3-play point spell. Says, deal a pool of 3 damage divided between all enemies. First, deal damage to enemy followers equal to their defense in the order they came into play. And if any damage is left in the pool, deal to the leader. So this is Bahamut effect, right? If you have 20 or less cards in your deck, deal 6 damage instead. But if you have 5 or less cards in your deck, deal 9 damage instead. What is this hype? Okay, so you play Grea as a 3-drop early on. It helps get you to the 20 or less. Then you can evil her on turn 4. You get 2 play points, meaning you'll have 3 play points left over. And with that you can cast a spell right away. So you get a 5-4, clear, and then wipe the board and do some damage. Cool. Then in the mid game, if you are 20 cards or less, you play this, and it's actually a 6-5, which is pretty thick. You always get the spell on Fanfare anyway. And then if you want to use the evil, you still can to get play points back. Then eventually this becomes, I guess in the mid game, it's doing 6 damage instead. It seems pretty cool, not bad. Maybe 20 or less rune will finally, and I mean finally, be a deck, chat. Just maybe. Maybe with Grea they could be. People are saying they like the art. I'm not sure why you guys would say that. Looks cool. I think this is more than a take 2 card. I would assume this is more than a take 2 card. But yes, obviously insane in take 2, right? Okay, and then we also have Anne, Mysterian Queen. A 3 play point 2/3 Runecraft Mysteria follower. So once again, like the Levens, the trait is back. There is also a Machina follower, so I don't know if they're putting those traits just to be cute, in case they might interact with like unlimited cards or some shit. Not that anybody cares about unlimited. Or if we're getting those traits because they plan on in the future once again supporting Mysterias, Levens, Machinas, or whatever. No way to tell, at least not yet, chat, but keep that in mind. Okay, so Anne, she's got nice art. 3 play point 2/3. Fanfare. Put an Exceed Blast into your hand, banish 2 random cards from your deck. So just like Red, right? And if you have 20 cards or less, summon an Anne summoning. Is Anne summoning still the horse? Is that what it is, chat? Pretty sure it's the horse, right? On Evo, she has deal 2 damage to enemy follower and the enemy leader, and then banish 2 cards. Cool. And an Exceed Blast is a 3 play point spell. Says deal 2 damage to enemy follower and the enemy leader. If you have 20 cards or less, deal 4. If you have 5 or less, deal 8. Okay, so a good spell that just scales over time. The only phase damage is good. I think Grea might be better, but Anne doesn't seem bad either. I mean, the horse is cool, right? Like a super piercing rune? Yes. Yes. Okay, our next card is Elemental Slash. It's a Forcecraft, 2 play point, gold spell. I've not seen this before actually. Deal 3 damage to enemy follower. If at least 4 other cards were played this turn, give all allied followers +2/+1. I'm about this. 2 play point, deal 3 is fine. And the conditional effect is potentially bonkers. I assume that if you're playing 4 cards this turn, that's because you were putting a bunch of nerds, and then they all get buffed. +2/+1 is pretty reasonable, pretty relevant. I like this card. It's simple, but cool. I like it. I am a fan. The art might be okay. Okay, I've actually never seen this card, chat. Believe it or not, I've never seen this card. I did not read this. I must have missed it on Reddit. Ganesh, God of Glory. It's a Havencraft legendary. 7 play point 5/5 with a paragraph. Time to bust out your Lewis Reed. Fanfare. If at least 1 allied amulet has been destroyed this match, banish a random enemy follower. Cool. Repeat this once if at least 4, 7, 10, and 13 have been destroyed. Okay. If at least 2 have been destroyed, deal 3 damage to enemy leader and restore 3 damage to your leader. Repeat these for 5, 8, 11, 14. Cool. If at least 3 have been destroyed, summon an allied Havencraft follower that has been destroyed this match. Repeat this once for 6, 9, and 12. Wow, this is wild. Is this good? This is way better than Frigg, right? It's like way better than Frigg. Okay, so you're like answering the board, banishing followers, doing damage to your opponent, and healing your face, and then summoning dudes. This reminds me a bit of like Rooney in a way, where it's like one card that just does so much, right? Now, you have to be playing amulets for this to work, so hopefully we get Haven amulets. I don't think that's too much to ask for, but if you're playing Haven amulets and the amulets are not ass, like surely this seems really, really good, right? Get clear, face damage, heal, board. Like one card do everything, right? Imagine you play this on 7, You clear your opponent's board, you do 6 damage to the face, and you heal your face for 6 so you don't die. Then you get a 5/5 and you summon 2 random dudes. Seems good. And then you can do it again next turn, right? We got Lara, Crimson Strife. It's a Bloodcraft legendary, 4 playable 3/3. At the end of your turn, if this card is in your hand and Avarice is active for you, gain one of the following effects in order. Okay, so if you're in Avarice, first you get Drain, next turn you get Storm, and then next turn you get Fanfare Evil is follower. Cool. On Evil she only gets +1/+1, but she says Strike, deal 2 damage to all enemy followers, and then if you have Vengeance, what is that, chat? If Vengeance is active for you, deal 4 instead. So you stack up your Avarice, and then you get a 4 play point, 4/4, Storm, Drain, clear the board. That seems good. And yet, a little sus coming from Bloodcraft, don't you guys think? You guys like the art? That's a glove target. This one? Does the opponent know you have Lara? I don't think so. It doesn't say you reveal it, so I'm gonna say no. Day 1, no. Okay. And last but not least, we got Kagero Single Blade Ghost, Shadowcraft legendary, 2 playpoint 2/2 follower. During your turn, when this card is added to your hand, if you have 10 shadows, reveal it and destroy a random enemy follower. Last words, Necromancy 3, put a single blade soul into your hand. Okay, so a 2/2/2 with last words, do something, and another weird effect which is triggered when you draw it, which is interesting, but you need shadows for that. Although, I mean, when it does happen, like, hey, you play this into a 2-drop, but eventually it's like mid-late game, you draw his card and it destroys a follower for 0 play points, like, that's not bad. But what is the spell? Single Blade Soul is a 2 playpoint Shadowcraft spell, says deal 4 damage to an enemy follower. If 10 or more allied cards had last words, when they were destroyed this match, deal 4 to enemy leader. Okay, so, I mean, he's a 2/2 with last words, which is already good because we need more and better last words follower, I guess. You can draw him and get an effect, which is cool. And then he gives you a spell that does 4 damage for 2, which is good. And then assuming you're a last words deck, eventually it goes 4 face as well, which is also good. Like a case where you can, like, hey, I clear your ward for 2 play points and at the same time push 4 face damage so that I can Necro Impulse you easier. Seems alright. It's not super flashy, but it doesn't seem bad either. Like, surely these shadow decks will just be looking for playable last words followers. And if I had to guess, this guy is at the very least a playable last words follower.